Shalom once again, everybody. This is Bill Cloud here, and this is On This Day. Today is the 21st day of the month Adar. After obtaining the blessing from his father Isaac, Esau determined to kill Jacob, which, of course, forced Jacob to flee from him. And as Jacob fled toward Haran, he came to a place that would later be called Beth-el, or the house of God. And it was in this place that the God of Abraham and Isaac would also become the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. It was also in this place that God affirmed the same promises that he had previously made to Abraham, to Jacob, but he added a couple of things. He said this in Genesis chapter 28. "You shall spread abroad to the west and the east, to the north and the south, and in you and in your seed all of the families of the earth shall be blessed. Behold, I am with you and will keep you wherever you go, and will bring you back to this land. For I will not leave you until I have done what I have spoken to you." It is with this promise of multiplication, protection, and guardianship that Jacob left the land of Canaan. He went into the land of Syria, where he's going to work for his uncle Laban for about 20 years. And according to the scripture, throughout his tenure there, his uncle repeatedly deceived him, cheated him, changed his wages multiple times, falsely accused him. And he changed the conditions of their working relationship every time he had the opportunity, and always to his advantage, that is Laban. So it's rather ironic that Jacob is on the receiving end of all of this deceit and all the shenanigans, because over the centuries, we've been told that Jacob is the deceiver, that he is the cheater. In fact, to this day, some scholars are convinced that Jacob was simply being repaid for all of his deceit. But according to the Bible, the facts say otherwise. Laban was the one deceiving. Jacob was the one trying to hold on to his integrity. One of the most striking examples of Laban's deceit is when he instructed Leah, his daughter, to go into the wedding tent instead of Rachel, tricking his son-in-law into consummating a marriage with a woman that he had no intention of marrying. Now, Laban's plan, which he obviously knew would work, was to squeeze another 7 years of labor out of Jacob. Now, considering what God had told Jacob, wherever you go, I'm going with you, and I'm going to watch over you, and I'm going to protect you. Considering that, why didn't God warn Jacob of Laban's plot? Why did God allow Jacob to be deceived in this way? Now, because Leah delivered several sons who would become heads of tribes, obviously this factored into God's purpose and his plan for Israel. But might it also be that God wanted to prove what was in Jacob's heart, not only to him, but to his posterity? In other words, this story makes it personal for all of us. When people, many times our brethren, cheat us, deceive us, abuse, accuse, lie to us, and use us, maybe it's not necessarily intended to expose what's in their heart. Maybe God allows these things to touch our lives to expose what's in our heart. How do we react to injustice? How do we react when those who cheat us, who lie about us, who scheme against us, what do we do? When we look at the patriarch Jacob, we see that through all of the abuse that he was subjected to, he retained his integrity. And according to the description that's given us in Genesis 25, you see Jacob was a temperate man. It means that he didn't give in to the evil inclination and his anger and his emotions. Instead of letting his emotions rule him, he disciplined himself and he ruled over his emotions. He ruled over these impulsive inclinations. He didn't allow them to provoke him into something that was wrong. Therefore, we learn from Jacob that many of the hurts and the disappointments that we experience at the hands of those who sometimes are supposed to be those we can trust, all of that is perhaps in order to prove what's in our heart. Is our heart pure? Or is our heart tainted with self? The point is, we have to commit ourselves to walking in integrity, regardless of what everyone else is doing. And we need to take to heart what David spoke when he said, "Vindicate me, O Lord, for I have walked in my integrity. I have also trusted in the Lord. I shall not slip. Examine me, O Lord, and prove me. Try my mind and my heart, for your loving kindness is before my eyes, and I have walked in your truth. David suggests that if we keep our eyes on his loving kindness, we won't notice our fellow man's injustice nearly as much. If we do this, if we really do this, I believe that the Lord will be well pleased. Thank you for joining me today. We'll see you tomorrow. Shalom.
Like what you're hearing? Become a Bill Cloud Premium Partner to watch or listen to hundreds of hours of teachings and resources on demand. Go to BillCloud.com/subscribe to start watching today.